Have you ever felt alone in a room full of people? Have you ever felt alone while sitting right next to the person you love? It's a strange, haunting feeling. You can reach out and touch their hands, but their soul feels 1,000 miles away. You're looking at a person, but you're living with a ghost. We spend our lives searching for connection, but often we end up in invisible chains. We become addicted to a version of someone that doesn't exist anymore. We stay in relationships that are already dead, hoping for a resurrection that will never come. Welcome back to Silent Truths. Today, we are going to talk about the most painful addiction of all, emotional dependency. We are going to explore why we hold on to the people who let us go a long time ago, and how we can finally stop being haunted by the ghosts of our own expectations. Stay with me. This is going to hurt, but it's the only way to heal. If you're ready to reclaim your heart, hit that subscribe. Let's walk through the fog together. Why do we fall so hard for the people who are wrong for us? It's not because we are stupid, and it's not because we are unlucky. It's because we're using that person as a mirror for our own lack. Think about it. If you feel unworthy inside, you will seek out someone who treats you like you're unworthy. It feels familiar. It feels like home, even if that home is burning down. We look at the other person and we think, if they love me, then I must be valuable. If they choose me, then I finally exist. You've turned another human being into your oxygen. But humans were never meant to be oxygen. They're just other people, flawed, messy, and temporary. When you make someone else responsible for your self-worth, you aren't in a relationship, you're in a hostage situation. And the ghost in the room, that's the version of you that you sacrificed just to keep them near. Let's talk about breadcrumbing. You know the feeling. They give you just enough attention to keep you from leaving, but never enough to make you feel secure. A text message once a week, a compliment once a month, a maybe when you ask for a commitment. Why do we stay? Because we're emotionally starving. When you're starving in a desert, a single drop of water feels like an ocean. You become grateful for the crumbs because you've forgotten what a feast looks like. This is how the invisible chains are forged. Your brain becomes addicted to the high of the rare moments they are nice to you. It's like gambling. You keep losing, but you stay at the table because you think the next win is just one more yes away. But look at the cost. You are trading your dignity for a ghost of affection. You are staying in a room where you are tolerated, but not celebrated. And every day you stay, you starve a little bit more. Who are you actually in love with? I want you to be very honest with yourself right now. Are you in love with the person sitting in front of you, or are you in love with the potential of who they could be? We often fall in love with a script we wrote in our heads. We see a tiny spark of goodness in someone, and we build a whole cathedral around it. We ignore the coldness, the lies, and the neglect because deep down, they're a good person. Deep down doesn't matter if the surface is hurting you. You're living with a ghost of who they might be. You're waiting for a person who doesn't exist to come and save you from the person who does exist. This is a form of self-sabotage. By loving the ghost of perfection, you excuse the reality of pain. You've built a cage out of hope, and hope is the hardest cage to break out of because you're the one who keeps reinforcing the bars. Why is it so hard to leave? You know they're bad for you, your friends know it, your logic knows it, but your heart feels like it's tied to them with an iron cable. This isn't just love, it's trauma bonding. It's a biological glitch. When a person causes you pain and then occasionally gives you comfort, your brain releases a massive flood of dopamine. It's the same chemical reaction that happens in the brain of a drug addict. The lows make the highs feel more intense. The crying, the fighting, the silence, and then the makeup, the I'm sorry, the I love you. You aren't addicted to the person, you're addicted to the relief from the pain they caused you. It's a cycle that destroys your nervous system. You become like a shadow of yourself, constantly scanning their face for a sign of good weather. You've stopped living your life and started living in the reaction to theirs. What are you running from? If you leave them, what is waiting for you? For most people, the reason they stay in a toxic relationship isn't because they love the other person so much, it's because they're terrified of the silence that comes after the door closes. They're afraid of the void we talked about in the first episode. When you spend your whole life focusing on someone else's problems, someone else's moods, someone else's needs, you don't have to look at your own emptiness. They are your distraction. Even a bad relationship feels better than no relationship to a soul that doesn't know how to be alone. You'd rather be haunted by a ghost than live in an empty house. But here's the truth you need to hear. The house isn't empty because they left. The house is empty because you moved out a long time ago to live in their shadow. Where are you spending your soul? Every time you check their social media, every time you reread old texts, every time you spend 3 hours talking to your friends about what they did, you are paying them with your life force. Attention is the most valuable currency in the universe, and you are giving it away for free to someone who doesn't even value it. They don't have to be in the room to control you. As long as they're in your head, they are stealing your energy. As long as you're trying to understand them, they're winning. Stop trying to figure out why they did what they did. The why doesn't matter. What matters is that you are exhausted. What matters is that you are shrinking. The ghost in the room is only there because you keep feeding it your attention. If you stop feeding it, if you turn your back on it, it will eventually fade away. But you have to be willing to sit in the quiet for a while before the light comes back. And it will fade away. How do you kill a ghost? You don't fight it. You don't scream at it. You simply stop giving it a place to stay. Detachment is not about hating the person who hurt you. Hate is still a connection. Hate is just love on fire. As long as you hate them, you are still tied to them. Real freedom is indifference. It's the moment you realize that their opinion of you no longer has the power to change your mood. It's the moment you stop waiting for an apology that will never come. You have to realize that you don't need closure from them. Closure is something you give to yourself. It's the decision to say, I don't need to understand why you hurt me to know that I deserve to heal. When you cut the cord of needing to know, you finally stop being a prisoner of their narrative. You reclaim your story. It's time to move back in. Remember that house we talked about? The one you left empty so you could live in someone else's shadow? It's time to clean it up. Most of our addiction to others comes from a wounded child inside us that is still looking for a parent. We look for a partner to tell us we are good, to tell us we are safe. But you are an adult now. The quiet power we talked about in the last episode, this is where you use it. You must become the person you've been searching for. You must be the one who tells yourself, I am here, I am safe, I am enough. When you start parenting your own emotions, the hunger for external validation begins to die. You stop looking for a hero because you realize the hero was the one looking in the mirror all along. It's a slow process. It's a quiet process. But every day you choose yourself over the ghost, you are adding a brick to the fortress of your own peace. We are at the exit now. The fog is lifting. The invisible chains are lying on the floor. People often ask, will I ever find love again? The answer is yes, but it will be a different kind of love. It won't be the addictive, haunting, ghostly love of the past. It won't be a love that makes you smaller. It will be a love of choice, not need. When you are whole on your own, you don't look for someone to complete you. You look for someone to share the abundance with. You look for someone who has their own light, so you can walk side by side without one person becoming the shadow of the other. The ghost is gone. The room is bright. And for the first time in a long time, you can finally breathe. Thank you for being brave enough to face the ghosts with me today on Silent Truths. This was a journey through the most hidden parts of our hearts. But remember, the pain of leaving is temporary, but the pain of staying is eternal. If you felt those chains loosen today, subscribe. We are building a community of people who are choosing themselves. I have a question for you in the comments. What is the one crumb of attention you are going to stop accepting today? Let's name it and let it go. In our next episode, we will talk about the illusion of time, why we feel we are running out of it, and how to stop the clock. Until then, own your heart. Stay real.